I just found this paper called Taxonomy and Trends in Reinforcement Learning.
Oh,
Let's see
Hmm.
what it what it
uh,
says.
when is it from? When was
October
it published?
2025.
Okay. So yeah, the context is that we are talking about the how much reinforcement learning is actually used in deployed robotics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
Is reinforcement learning an efficient way to learn, or is it, I don't know,
You can't use
better?
real robots, right? Can you? Because it becomes quite expensive uh, to use RL on real robots. I think it's mostly a simulation
Simulation?
technique, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you just
Yeah.
got to the thing at challenges. Can you go to the
Okay.
beginning of that section, Anuvaj? That one, yeah.
So RL is basically a simulation technique.
Here, that's the answer. Millions of environment interactions. So it's relevant if you have a million Roombas, deployed.
Well, I think like Tesla might be doing some RL on real robots, right? Basically, their CV pipeline, and so they have like almost a million cars on the road. So they can do real robot RL for the
Yeah.
training because they have the data from it. So data from actual robots. So basically, if you want to do RL on real robots, you need the scale to get the data.
Yeah, but even when we talk about a real robot, if we talk about, lifting an object and putting it down, you can look at that as one event, or you could look at that as 10,000 events. Not all the same, of course, but each, position of the arm, that seems to me to be a different data point. Or does reinforcement learning requires that all of your data points be identical?
Certainly, the data points need to have a common structure. So it depends what you mean by identical.
So imagine my robots going down and then picking up. Okay, that's a lot of data points, isn't it?
Mhm.
Can we
Um,
use that for reinforcement learning?
so I'm not so sure to understand the question, but I guess so. Okay. After
No,
it
you
depends.
need millions of data points, and I'm saying when a robot operates an arm, okay, with 10 joints,
Mhm.
so this movement, okay, each position of the arm is a data point.
So it really depends what data point means then. Okay, because you see, we've seen quite often recently demonstrations, even in our group, huh? Demonstrations in simulator. You have typically a robotic arm, okay, but ad infinitum. You have the same robotic arm, but a million times.
Mhm.
In a 3D simulation, and each with its own policy for reinforcement learning training. Okay, and so all of these usually all these robots have the same mission. Okay, I don't know,
Right.
to take an apple from A to B, let's say. Okay, and but each run, okay, is with slightly tuned, slightly tweaked parameters, right, for the policy. And the idea is that since 1 million of them are moving at the same time, and with some techniques to fuse their learning and to redistribute the result, you know, the idea is to speed up the learning. Okay, so what is the data point here? it's really case by case because the data point can be okay. It's the scenario execution from beginning to the end, and that's a set,
Right.
of sensor readings, and the whole thing is a data point. Okay,
I'm sorry, we're
I don't
getting
know.
a invade siren, so I'm gonna have to leave.
Oh,
Okay.
well, be safe.
Be safe.
Thank you. Let's see, what do I do? Yeah, I'm gonna join back in about 10 minutes.
Understood. Rafa is joining apparently.
Yeah, it seems. Maybe we can see the demo he has.
Sure, be great.
So he did some
Hmm.
seems some
The Stripe
market,
integration.
yeah, some marketplace. It seems for robot actions or robot tasks. So he built on top of what I had built, and then basically there is a marketplace now. I don't know how it works. Maybe he'll explain it to us.
Yeah, that's spreading. The protocol is getting big. Is moving at one level higher, right?
Yeah, but it seems like even a lot of crypto companies are now interested. So the developer of Sui protocol, I think
Yeah.
Sui is run popular in Japan. It seems.
Uh, People I talk here, none of them knows it. Okay, but
Okay,
sui means water in Japanese, so it
what
may be it
what does
means
it mean?
water. Water.
Water. Ah, okay.
Yes. Okay. And oh, here's Rafa. So perhaps that there is an appeal to the name. I don't know. Okay.
I think like it's a lot of I see on the there are Japanese companies involved in Sui
Okay.
protocol. Yeah. So I don't know how much is it coming from there or is it like independent. I don't know, but it's a foundation, and then they are fully into crypto based robotics. And yesterday I had seen some Coinbase posts promoting people building robots on base. So a lot of crypto
Yeah,
companies are seeing the potential of like a lot of the things we can do with crypto and robotics. Hi,
Okay.
Rafa.
yeah. I think they're desperate for transactions on their blockchains, and they figured out that agents probably have a better sustainability model than degens.
Okay.
So Rafa, do you want to share what you have built?
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Just have so much shit open. Been going a little bit crazy with Claude Code, to be honest. Um, check out my new unhinged website, by the way. Wow, wait. I just sent it in the chat so you guys can see my unhinged uh, building.
Oh, nice. I'll
You
share
can
it on
click on,
screen if that's okay.
yeah. You can click on the dot and it changes the aesthetics. Let me pull up my terminal and make sure that I have everything. Okay, that's YaRG over. This we can close out. Okay. Protocolized, we're good. And in the past week, I built uh, German a German test suite, like a German study application for myself. I built an entire financial modeling analysis on all my transactions for the past year for budgeting and financial planning. I got my website cleaned up. I built the protocolized AI MMM, like AI capability, maturity model here. You guys can take a look at this.
Are you sharing your screen or something? No?
Yeah, let me show my screen.
How do I change the color of your website? It's not.
The dot next to the Rafa. Yeah, it's a little tricky at some purpose. There's a next button at the bottom too, but it's supposed to be like an Easter egg.
So this is what a React app or something else.
No, I think it's just HTML with Flash and like not Flash, but like a Flash emulator or some shit like that. It's like GeoCities back from the 90s. I don't know, maybe Eric, you remember, but they have these like shitty ass website builders back in 1995 and 1996, and so
Do you give it Flash?
You can change it again. Yeah, back in the day, but I think you use emulators now. So you can click the button again. Click it again. Yeah.
It's not. Okay. A little easier to read.
Yeah. Well, the aesthetic changes each time you visit the website. It'll be a little random selection.
Okay.
It's like, but it's pretty unhinged. I was gonna tell Claude to try to create like a 100,000 line like HTML like as complex as possible, like, and see like what it could come up with. Reminds me of yeah, kind of like when an artisan gets a new machine and they can do really complicated like useless shit, and like it feels a little bit like that. But here's another one of the websites that I built. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
So here you have a maturity model with like, you can do like an assessment on like AI adoption. Get in touch, just goes to the Summit Protocols Discord. This is like a generated paper that includes like a bunch of case studies, blog posts. It's from Sachin. Sachin wrote this blog post, but it's quite useful. And then you can see the dimensions here.
Do you guys record the SOP calls, or is it just Discord calls?
We don't record them yet, but this is pretty. I don't know if I even presented this yet, but this is quite cool. So your result, it shows you this, and then shows you like characteristic tensions, historical parallels on like Lotus 1, 2, 3, and like shipping container through line. And then I was able to build out also like even kind of like stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think like I've seen people talk about this maturity model like at other places too, and trying to figure it out. So it's not, SOP is not the only place I've seen that right now.
Yeah, definitely not. Like everybody has their own like variation. But regardless, let's talk about Claude Code. Okay, let's talk about where are we? Okay, so here we have I currently have the MCP for the fake rover active, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see my terminal? Yes.
Yes. If you make the font a little bigger?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Okay. Familiar? Does it look familiar?
Yeah. Yes.
Great.
Okay. So, sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, no, great.
And then this one is a new server which is called the auction server. And basically this one gets some other information. I'm not 100% sure, but it does track basically the bidding. Okay? And then what you can do is, I'm gonna exit here. So I started from the front, exit. And then start a new instance of Claude. So, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna say hire a robot for to measure temperature in day 3. But you can imagine this will obviously be much more, like, depending what robots you have available than what you might be able to do here. Print out what happens since I'm showing this as a demo.
Nice.
Okay.
What is Bay 3?
Just like imagine like a manufacturing facility, like a factory has a bay 3. Like a unloading or offloading station.
Okay.
Maybe you have like some sensitive materials that can't be like unloaded if the temperature is like above a certain or below a certain temperature or whatnot. So what's happening here is that the first thing is it's looking at what robots are available and checking if you have enough money to hire a robot.
That makes sense.
And then when it discovers the robots, it's going to look at it's going to reinterpret, measure the temperature in Bay 3 into the agent. It reinterprets this into a structured request. Like, I want to get temperature and humidity at this specific location for this specific amount with a specific SLA. So the human is not actually writing the structured data to ask for the bid, but the robot requires structured data to respond to the bid. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so basically you are giving some JSON or some structured format to the robot.
That's right, exactly. I don't know why it's dragging here. Maybe the server is not like.
What did you use for the wallets?
So this works right now. This is a fake one, but it's connected to Stripe. And if you give your secret key to your agent or you set up an account of Stripe for your agent, then it works.
Okay.
So you can pay with a credit card, basically.
Why is it not moving ahead?
I'm not sure. It's got stuck.
If you press Control O,
the demo
Control O.
The demo always fails when you do it, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the rule?
Of course.
Except you have to plan it so failure is a success.
Yeah.
That's a trick. But
maybe it's because the MCP is.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I failed. I need to. 1 second. Okay. I need to. Let me just restart the servers. Yeah, it's this one. Just need to make sure I have.
you have like a percentage.
Marketplace.
You're not in the right folder, it seems.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Oh.
Ah, okay, it worked.
No, I must have. Oh, this is a different. Yeah. This is the one. Okay, let's try. To exit. Yeah, so basically it's your wallet has this. Let's hire a robot. So there's like, you can see the structure JSON here. You posted a task. The bids were received. Then the auction system, not the auction system, different robots submitted their request independently to what they were charging. So it's like a sealed bid. And then your agent settles it based on either your custom selection of the robot, so that's like user side configurable, or it automatically settles, chooses the robot based within the SLA requirements. And then the
What
agent
is
can
SLA?
the service level agreement. So you say, I want the temperature within 30 seconds.
Okay. You know what's interesting, maybe I was inspired partly by previous session. I'm giving a talk next week about exactly this thing between your instructions to execute. There's a gap between your instructions
That's
to
right.
execute and your actual execution. And in
Correct.
fact, I look at it as a loop. Okay, you have the real world, then you decide to do some sort of abstract thing. In my case, it's intellectual property, not important. But then you're expecting it to have an effect on the real world. And there's a lot
That's
of
right.
fail and a lot of possibility to fail. So
That's right.
maybe the rover doesn't know what base 3 is. Maybe it fails to measure the temperature because the air is dirty.
Mhm.
Maybe it's giving it to you not at the time you need.
That's right.
So I'm wondering if you are planning on dealing with that as well, or you're focusing on the more abstract level of let's find somebody who's willing to do the job and will at least pretend to do it.
Yeah, I think my piece of mode of interest right now is, can we get money moving between robot and agent? That's the thing that I'm most interested in. Like, can I, with a credit card, hire a robot to do a thing in a different location at, like, for whatnot? So like, can I say I want like a random instruction and I want a robot somewhere around the world to carry out that specific instruction? That's the thing that I'm most interested in. But I agree with you, which is like something that I discovered here is that depending on the user, which this has always been the case, right? This is the case when you hire someone to fix your bathroom or your kitchen. Like,
Yeah.
there's a gap between your communication and the execution, and there's a feedback loop between did you get what you needed or not.
I'll say it a little bit differently. Let's talk about your kitchen example, because that's one that's challenging my family right now. When you order somebody to do a kitchen, they expect you to give them kitchen plans, but
That's
then they
right.
build the kitchen. And any problem, mismatch, whatever you want to call it, they solve themselves and they come back to you with the kitchen at the end, whether you like it or not.
That's right.
But in some activities, it's the other way around. If there's anything that appears to be less than perfect or problematic, okay, they stop and they go back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm wondering which one of those two do you expect is more realistic for this example? Okay, measure temperature in base 3. Is it more realistic that I give the robot a task, and if it finds any challenges, it decides if the
Yeah,
solution is
that's
good
the
enough?
idea.
One.
Yeah. Or it fails. It report like we're assuming honest actors and trusted
Yeah,
people.
yeah, everything's honest.
So everything is honest. Now, within that honest environment, what would happen here is that you have a deposit escrow and you have a full payment. And so the idea is that if a robot fails, for example, fake robot rover Bay 3 like goes and tries to measure the temperature, but the temperature sensor fails, then it just reports back to you, temperature sensor fails. Thank you very much for your participation, and returns the deposit. Now, there may be different service level agreements, which is like, your deposit may be unrefundable. But these are like problems
Sorry,
which,
another earwig siren.
yeah, you need to iterate on, and it might depend on the robot too. Like one robot may say, I have a high probability of completing this, but I require a non-refundable deposit, similar to like a high quality consultant, right? Is like, if you're not happy with my output, you still require like to pay me. And a different robot may have a lower probability, or may have just entered lower reputation, and say, you can pay me at the end. I like because I don't have any guarantee, right, that I'm actually going to complete it.
So who rates this then? What is the
That's
confidence
right.
coming?
So the idea, in my opinion, I haven't solved this yet, obviously, but the idea, I think, is to build in an automatic feedback loop from the agent to the robot. So the agent itself assesses the robot's like execution. So you as a user in a future world, right? You're not going to see any of this shit. You only see this output, and you see your balance go down a little bit. Not even like you might not even see the cost. You're focused on executing stuff in the real world, right? And your agent is managing like a specific budget for that like project task execution.
Mm,
Do you see where I'm going with that?
yeah. I was just trying to. So I posted about the DAO. You heard about that autonomous forest, right? I think it's some Berlin-based art foundation, and they fund this autonomous forests. I've like had heard about this like a couple of years ago. So they basically want to use some sort of blockchain-based mechanism to for ownership and monitoring the forest.
Yeah.
But right now they have like a tab on their website. It's called live demo or something, and then when you click on it, you see like static cameras from the forest. So
That's
they
right.
had like an idea of like if you could use robots, but
That's
basically
it.
like yeah, like this could be kind of a auction place for somebody who wants to implement a robot for
Hmm.
in the forest, and then the robot got bid for the forest people.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, like if they want a picture from somewhere, the robot could
Hmm.
do. Yeah,
That's right. Obviously, there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of illegal and bad stuff to happen.
yeah.
My North Star is, imagine a world in 5 to 10 years where there is a warehouse that the business is basically drones, and the drones are like bats, and they get an agent say, hey, I want to do an employee, I have an employee get together next week, I want to do a drone show, okay? So they get the request from the agent who's organizing the employee get together. The drones are move into an autonomous truck. The truck trucks them over to the location. They execute the show. They fly back into the truck, and the truck drives back into the manufacturing facility or charges on its way to the next event. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Can you go through the flow diagram you had shared?
Yeah. Okay. Let's pull up the new.
So this is basically you have made a MCP server that can be loaded into the fast API gateway, if I am understanding correctly.
It
Right.
seems like it. It seems like that's what I built.
Okay. I
There's
think
a
it was
couple
some
of
HackMD
yeah,
hosted.
but I updated some stuff, so I need to update.
Okay.
Anyways, reactions, yeah, you guys like it?
Yeah, it's like amazing. Actually, like did not expect somebody to build something on top of it so quickly.
Okay, so the agent posts a task, Fleet server receives a task, and then it validates your budget. And then it discovers robots via your registration process, and it has a hard constraint filter. So, for example, if you need a temperature reading, you can only deal with robots that have temperature sensors. If the eligible robots, then it fans out the bid requests. Right now, there's a big question on feature development, like how do you make requests discoverable by robots, and how do robots find requests, and vice versa? How do agents know what capabilities are available? But then robots self-assess and bid. So again, this happens outside. You have a score bid that has different factors. This is also configurable by us. Agent accepts best bid or gets an override, right? You could say, you could have a hard constraint that says, I want a drone to measure the temperature, not a rover, right? Like, so you have quite a bit of control. You have a reservation cost, so an escrow service. Robot executes the task within specific service level agreement. You have a delivery which is successful. If the timeout, then you're abandoned and you get your refund. If you have a success, then the agent verifies a payload. Again, all this is debatable and configurable by us. You have bad data, so it's rejected. You get a refund. Verification passes. Yes, then you debit the rest from your wallet. These debits may be configurable by the robot, TBD, and start transfers to the operator and then settle. This is basically what happens when you hire anyone,
Yeah.
but we're doing it with robots registered on the blockchain, and we're doing it mediated through an agent, where those are two big differences. And then right now, you have a score weight distribution. This is an entire product, right? Like every single block of these is like an entire like rabbit hole of like what you can do for optimization. But what you want to make sure is like you have bid based, like how much is your bid versus your budget. So the agent wants to pay less, but you want a certain level of like commitment and deadline ratio, the self-assessed fit component, and compensation rate from history. So your reputation is whether you got paid or not, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's more to this that you can build, but you get the idea. And then you have here's a state machine. So you post a task, you have some bidding, accepted bid, in progress, delivered, rejected, so on and so forth. And then the payment flow, the way that it's being built right now is that you are similar to moving money into a wallet on chain. You're buying a credit bundle for use within the system. So Stripe is paying a credit bundle which sits in the buyer's wallet that the agent can then execute on. So Stripe is an intermediary. It deals with the credit bundle, but then pays out the robot operator.
But it seems it might be using Privy in the backend for this wallet management.
I haven't checked because I built this like 2 days ago, so I haven't gone through the details. But I would imagine that it's like doing something like that. And then this one is quite interesting. So this is how it connects to the server. So this is the 8004 MCP. So the fleet server, right, is used in the MCP tools for the marketplace. And then the Discover bridge is basically pulling on your robot plugin, like what the metadata and the components are. But it's pretty, like it's its own separate module, basically.
Yeah.
Which in my opinion is how it should be, right?
Yeah.
Like it should use the least amount of entanglement.
But let's get your permission sorted out. We have like 3 minutes left. I didn't understand what problems you have because Na has been able to contribute.
Yeah, so there's two different repositories. There's the YaRG Robotics Garage. So here's one, right? I'm a member here.
Yeah.
And then there's a different one, which is 8004 here. So this project, it has two contributors here, but I don't think I'm a contributor here.
It inherits the permissions from the organization.
Yeah.
And then pull requests are open to everybody.
So
what you can do is like just fork this. You can fork it, right? If you just click on that fork button on the top right.
Oh, I see.
On the left side, go back. If you go to that watch fork star, just fork it. Create a new fork.
Oh, cool.
So this will create your own cloud copy or Git repo, and then you can directly push to this whatever you have, and then when you want to like merge it to the main YaRG Robotics Garage repo, you can create a PR from here.
Okay, cool. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I'm actually thinking that it might be better.
Or you could create a new repo.
A new repo just called like Robot Marketplace, like YaRG Rover Marketplace.
Yeah.
And then have a doc that references YaRG Rover 8004 MCP.
Yeah. So what you could do is like if you go to find a repository.
Find a repository.
Down. If you go down, and then you see the YaRG Rover protocols, the second one.
Yeah.
So I've been like collating different ideas I have, So you could
Mhm.
make a folder called YaRG Robo Marketplace and refer to the repo itself here.
Yeah, that might be the best one.
Best. So
Yeah,
you can create the HackMD type markdown documentations here, and then you could add like the Stripe payments in the payments itself as a section. Like one of the
yes,
payment methods could be Stripe.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Uh, okay, we have just on top of the hour. Maybe we stop for today and then see
I
you
hope
next
you
week.
guys enjoyed and got some inspiration for
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Good day.